Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're running with another Witchfire build video, and this one is for those of us that just struggled through this game. I made this build with two things in mind. One, how do I keep at a safe distance so I'm not dying all the time? And two, how do I make it to where you can get this as early as possible? Now, most of the build you can get extremely early. I'm talking as soon as you unlock the mirror, you can get some of the shit off the bat. But some of it does come later on, so you have something to build with. Something that progressively gets better as you play, which I think is a lot of fun. So to get into when you unlock stuff and what they are, we have the All-Seeing Eye. This will be the first long-range rifle that you can unlock. The Midas, you start with the first medium range, so this is the first one that you can unlock as soon as you get the mirror. So as soon as you unlock the mirror, boom boom, you got both of these. Blight Cyst, unfortunately, is I believe the fourth spell, so you'll have to run through those, but an alternative you can run for a little while would be Lightning Bolts. That would be the second one, and actually no, I think that's the third one. Frost Cone would be the second, which is another really good one. But as soon as you get Blight Cyst, I would switch to that. Iron Cross is the second heavy spell, so you can get it pretty early. Book of Serpents, unfortunately, is the fourth unlock on jewelry. It is really excellent, but I mean, honestly, the Eye of the Madwoman is a good one to start with. This will be the second. Well, actually, no, this will be the first thing you unlock. Then you'll get the Bittersweet Nightshade. Not a big fan of this. Honestly, I wouldn't even run with it on. It's really just not that good. The first ring you get is the Ring of Excreta, and that's the one we're running. So the Book of Serpents will be the fourth unlock, Henbane will be the fifth, and that's the whole build. So within your first 10 raids, you have the whole build basically. So to go through why we chose what we did, the All-Seeing Eye is excellent at AoE damage. On the level 2, you trigger a radial shockwave on critical hits. Basically, whenever you hit something in the head, it'll pop and do damage to enemies around it. At level 3, that pop will deal decay damage against people with over 75% health. So you hit the full health enemy, it pops, decays the rest of the enemies in the area. The Midas is our backup weapon. The main reason I chose this is because it has a lot of synergy with the elements that we're using. Iron Cross spreads all your damage out to other enemies, and it's also really good. I think it doubles the amount of stagger damage you do. I could be wrong. I'm not going to the wiki for this shit. This is just what I've experienced. So, but what it also does is if you deal fire damage to an enemy that's afflicted with lightning, the fire will spread to all the other enemies that are affected by the lightning. I believe it's the same with decay. So it just had good synergy, but an alternative, if you wanted, would be the Echo Shotgun, which also deals burn damage. I just prefer the Midas because of the play style, kind of keeping back. The Midas has a lot longer range than the Echo. So to go through this, you get the overheat mechanic with this. Basically, as you fire the gun will heat up. You want to keep it in the heated range, but you want to pull it up into overheated for 1 or 2 bullets to apply the burn, and then quit firing for a minute to let it drop back down into the heated. That's where you're going to get most of your damage. The Vulture is the same for every build right now in the early access. Blight Cyst is an incredible spell, honestly one of my favorites, and it has some hidden mechanics that I found out just by using it. First off, you throw a cyst out, preferably on an enemy, and you can shoot it to do a big AoE. If you let it grow until it pops, it does a little bit smaller of an AoE, but I believe the damage is the same. I believe it does about 50 damage, and then it'll do damage over time. Just ticks of 5 damage, which is pretty damn good. Whenever you level it up to level 2, the cyst can grow even bigger, making it easier to hit. And then the third upgrade makes it to where it has a chance to regrow if it's attached to an enemy. So you have a 50% chance to get a free Blight Cyst, basically. Now the hidden thing about this spell that I don't see anywhere is the fact that if you hit any enemy with it, it will stagger them instantly. Which, and I mean every enemy too. The second boss, winding up a big ass hit, throw a Blight Cyst at him. It'll knock him right out of it. Also, those big shield knights that are a big pain in the ass, whenever they hunker down and they start shooting you with their little SMG or whatever it is, just throw a Blight Cyst at them. Even if it hits the shield, it'll knock them over. To run through a relic, we have the Book of Serpents. Now this pairs excellently, the whole build does. It pairs with that Arcanum that makes it to where decayed enemies do less damage to you. But this in particular, because every enemy that hits you will be decayed, basically. Now, at level 2, you make it to where minor and major enemies have a chance to instantly die if they are affected by this. So if they hit you, they become decayed. Major enemies have a 6% chance to die instantly, minor have a 12%, which you'll notice procs more often than you think it would. But another big one that's really, really nice is the curse stuns minor enemies. So those little assholes that just get up on you, smack you within melee range, well, they're gonna be stunned so you can get away from them. Henbane is my favorite fetish. Honestly, I don't think any of the other fetishes compare to this. It makes your healing elixir a full heal, which in and of itself would make this better than the other two in my opinion. But on top of that, you gain full immunity while healing. So if you're at 10% health, pop a healing globe. It doesn't matter if everybody's shooting you or what. It's not going to do anything to you. Now, because of this playstyle, we gain a lot of bonuses from Henbane. Mainly being, as long as we don't get hit, we get 3 buffs. Spell recharge speed of 30%, stamina regen speed of 140%, and then 20% health. So to move on to our ring, we have the Ring of Excreta. Dash leaves behind a delayed bomb that damages and knockback enemies, which is nice because with this build we're trying to keep at range, so if an enemy is getting that close to us, being able to fuck them up is nice. And then at level 3, it makes it to where the bomb applies Decay Curse. So once again, more synergy with that Arcanum, making it to where decayed enemies deal less damage to you. Now, to go through the arcane, you really want anything that boosts either decay damage or just regular gun damage. So you have like Deadeye, weaken enemies, firepower boost, and then you have the decay spells. Any of those, of course there's max health boost. Those are all the boons you should be looking for. But all in all, even without the boons, this is a strong ass build. Now the main thing you want to focus on when playing this build is positioning. You don't want to just be up in their shit running and gunning, and honestly, it's not even that great just standing far away. You want to be up above the enemies. That's where you get the biggest... This is where this build thrives. Because normally if you jump up on a hill, all the enemies will just kind of pile up directly below you. You can't really see them or hit them. And that's where Iron Cross comes in. You throw this down, Iron Cross attaches bolts of lightning to them, and it'll drag them towards the cross. So whenever they're all under you or behind cover or wherever, throw down an Iron Cross and drag them out. And then Blight Cyst pairs really nicely with it, because when all the enemies are grouped up, you can throw down a Blight Cyst and pop it, and it will fuck up all those enemies. And then you just kind of go ham with All-Seeing Eye, because they're all grouped up right there. You're gonna hit that AoE damage, the shockwave, and because they're afflicted with Blight, I believe they're taking more damage, and then the lightning, every time you hit a critical hit, another bolt of lightning will strike all the enemies. So all in all, there's just synergy all around with this build, and we have all aspects covered. If you need to get down and get in the shit, you got Midas. If you're trying to stay at a range, you got All-Seeing Eye. The spells help a lot with one, damage, and two, you can stagger things out of hitting you. So if you see a grenader about to start launching at you, throw a Blight Cyst at him, it'll knock him out of it. Iron Crust keeps shit from going behind cover. If we get hit, we have Book of Serpents to help us deal some damage as long as mitigate some of it too. Hin Bane is just the best fetish in the game in my opinion. And then Ring of Excreta to make sure that those enemies foolish enough to hit us get their due diligence. So if you enjoyed the build, then like and subscribe. If you didn't, then don't. Either way it goes though, have yourself a very fine day.